Today we're going to be learning how to use TinkerCAD. So if you could go into your web browser and go to tinkercad.com, it is written right here, tinkercad.com. You should see something that looks a little bit like this, and we're going to click sign in. And you're going to use whatever email and password you use to sign into Fusion 360. It is the same. You should already have an account. So you can just type in your email, type in your password, and sign it. Now you'll see this kind of intro website. We're going to be using it for circuits, so if you could click this circuits block right here. And then you shouldn't have any circuits created, so this should be blank, and you should hit create new circuit. Now we'll see right here that we have we have a bunch of components over here on the right. Some of these parts will be familiar, some of them won't. So we're going to start by looking for a battery, and you can always type in the search bar to look for something. I'm just going to scroll and find them. Right here we have the 3-volt coin battery that we've been using in class. So we can just click and drag that out here. And now we have our battery. And I'm going to grab a resistor, which is up here at the top. And I'm going to grab an LED. So I have the 3 normal parts we've been using. This red one is positive, that's the positive side of the battery. This dot down here is the negative side of the battery. The resistor doesn't have a positive or a negative, so you can use either side. And then the LED has what we call an anode and a cathode. The anode is the connection to positive, and the cathode is the connection to negative. So if we're coming from positive, we need to connect to the anode. So now that we have these 3 parts, we're going to learn how to connect them. So we are going to we're going to click here on positive, and I'll click once, and now I have this green line, which represents a wire. And I'm going to connect that to either side of my resistor. From the other side of the resistor, I'm going to connect to the anode, because we're coming from the positive side. And then from the opposite side of the LED, I'm going to connect from the cathode back to negative. And so now I should have this completed circuit, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit the Start Simulation button, and you'll see the light turns on. So TinkerCAD Circuits really lets us create example circuits. When we are done with that, we're going to hit Stop Simulation. So if we want, we can drag out as many LEDs as we want. We can drag out as many resistors as we want. And we can build all the same circuits that we do. If we want to delete a part, we can click on it, it'll highlight, and we can press delete, or this little trash button up here, and it goes away. So trash button, trash button, trash button. If you want to move around, you can do this. You can just click and hold and move the mouse around to move around. If you want to zoom in and out, you can use 2 fingers to go in and out by sliding them on the trackpad. And if for some reason you get really far away, you can click this little I button right here. Whoops, not the one I'm looking for, never mind. So we can zoom in and out of our circuits. In the worksheet for today, I'm going to be asking you to try some different things with circuits and answer some questions. The very first thing I ask you to try is to compare some different batteries. So I'm going to delete these parts that we have real quick. And we are going to go and we're going to grab the 9-volt battery, which is much bigger. And again, it has a positive and a negative. And we're going to bring out an LED and a resistor. And we're going to go from positive to the resistor, from that side of the resistor to the anode, and from the cathode back to negative. And we're going to hit Start Simulation. And that should work fine. And now I'm going to ask you in the worksheet, what happens if you remove the resistor? So we can remove this, we can delete that. We could delete this wire if it's confusing. And we can go from positive to the anode and from negative to the cathode and run that and see what happens. If for some reason you're finding that this is difficult, for example, the wires get in the way, we can rotate any piece with this button right here. So when we select a piece, we can click this little triangle arrow symbol here and they'll rotate around. As you get further in this, it might be helpful to grab a breadboard and use that. And so we can always use a breadboard and do the same thing we're doing, where we connect from positive to this plus and from negative to this minus. And then we can put all kinds of parts in here if we want to. One of the things I'm going to ask you to do later is to use this RGB LED. And we're going to go from positive to the cathode, and then from each of these legs to negative. There are several things for you to complete in the worksheet. And we're really learning TinkerCAD here so that we can create circuits for homework or create circuits when we don't have all the materials. So this will be a helpful tool for us as we move forward.